How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the homestead. Today's a bit of a boring video, so if you're not into home improvement style videos, this probably isn't going to be the one for you. Not too much excitement going on. We're going to be changing out the filter for my entire house. Since we're on a well, we do have pretty clean water, but of course we're going to have silt, we're going to have different particles of whatever's in the dirt, whatever's in the ground, plus the stuff that's in the pipes as it makes its way to the house. So we want to have a filter. It's been quite a while since I changed it out the last time. It's overdue, so definitely time to do it. Thankfully, we have all the tools and equipment, which I will list here in the video. This isn't like an official tutorial, but if you want to follow along, you can. Now, one of the things I mentioned in that list of stuff is that you need to have a bucket with some water filled up. And that's because when we turn off the water, you're not going to be able to fill up that bucket, and you want to have that so that you can clean out the filter housing. So I already have that done. We are out here at the breaker box for the well house, and we are going to kill the well. Now that that's done, there's not going to be any water pumping to the house. And even though that's the case, I do have a ball valve inside the line, so we're going to turn that off as well. So we have two different ways just in case. Plus we're also going to check. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to flood my basement while this is happening. So two different ways to be safe. We're going to run up to the house, get working. Now with the well turned off, we want to bleed off any remaining water that's inside the lines. Let's see how long this takes. We're down in the root cellar, and hopefully you can see me all right. Using the sun as your lighting for videos is always hit and miss, let alone when you're downstairs in a root cellar or crawl space, whatever you guys want to call it. But nevertheless, we are down here by the water filter. Now, for those curious, we are going to be using a 5 micron filter. Originally, we had a 15 micron filter, and you can see that there's a whole bunch of sediment down here, which is a good enough reason to change your water filter. But the main reason I'm changing it out is because I was getting particles in my water. Whatever was floating in it, I could see it and I didn't want to drink it. So I had to go to my emergency water filter, which I have a couple of. You guys should always be prepared in case something goes wrong, especially if you're living on a remote homestead. Word to the wise. So for the past week or so, as I've been waiting for my tools and stuff to come in to do this, I've been using my emergency water filter. Now, of course, is it going to help that much? We shall see. The best way to prevent something like that from happening is just keeping up on maintenance. And like I said, this is well overdue. Been dragging my feet on it for far, far too long and paying the price for it. So without any further ado, we're going to get to work. Now I brought down 2 5-gallon buckets just in case there's excess water in those lines. I don't want to flood this even a little bit. I don't want to get my potatoes wet, I'll say, because I still have my seed potatoes down here. Subscribe to see those planted in about a month or so. Maybe less than a month, to tell you the truth. I'm really excited, you guys. I hope you are too. Now let's see if I can get these separated. There we go. Okay. Now I have an adjustable pipe wrench here. And the main reason I have the adjustable one is because I don't think this one fits. Maybe it does. Oh, it does. Oh, look at that. Wow. The old one broke. I thought that one didn't fit, which is why I got this one. Well, alrighty then. Let's give this a shot. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. There we go. And that's why we have a bucket ready. That is probably the excess water in the lines. Now, I don't have a way to bleed this. You may be able to see this glob of crap over here. That would be the bleeder valve. It started to leak, so rather than having to replace the whole unit, slap a whole bunch of JB weld and just goop stuff on here. There's epoxy, JB weld, Flex Seal, everything. We're just gonna let that drain out for a second, and then once it stops dripping, we're going to unscrew the filter. I was smart enough to turn on my phone's flashlight to give us a little bit more lighting. We're down to a trickle, so I'm gonna loosen this other direction. Try not to get soaking wet in the process. Alrighty, not bad. Oh yeah, a lot of sludge in there, a lot of sludge. Not really sludge, more just dirt. Doesn't even smell really. Well, there goes that. I'm just using the residual water to rinse out any of the sediment and particles that were inside there, because obviously the less that's inside my clean water, the cleaner I could get that. All right, so this is rinsed out okay enough. This is still dripping a little bit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go outside, we're gonna rinse this out the best we can, clean it out the best we can. You can already see much of an improvement, a lot of an improvement compared to what it was, filled up with crud. So it's already looking all right, but I just wanna rinse it out with some clean water. We'll reattach everything, put it all together, and we should be off. So nothing too groundbreaking about what we're doing here, just, like I say, rinsing it out, cleaning out any of the sediment that was built up, trying to get this as clean as we can. I'm also going to rinse off this O-ring because when I was taking it off, like right there, I could feel a little bit of sediment. Want to make sure that that's completely clean before we put any of that grease on there. Don't want to mess up this O-ring. Don't need another leak. I'd say that looks pretty good. That stuff's all on the outside. That's from where I was epoxying and flex sealing that hole. So we're going to go down there, reinstall everything, be off to the races. We're back down inside the root cellar, and the first thing I want to do before reinstalling that filter is making sure I get this O-ring on, and then making sure I get the grease on there, because this is, like I say, this is what prevents the leaks and the problems. So want to just make sure that you're treating your O-rings well. You also want to make sure that you're using plumbing grease and not like lithium grease. I assume my followers are smart enough not to use lithium grease on their O-rings and instead use plumbing grease on their plumbing projects, but you never know. So stuff like lithium grease is not food safe, not plumbing safe. And since I think lithium grease would eat away these O-rings, probably not good to use lithium grease on O-rings to begin with. All right, the O-ring is all greased up. We should be good to go there. I'm going to clean off the majority of the grease, at least as much as I can, off of my hands. That way we don't foul up this filter too much. Nice brand new filter. Thankfully it fits too. There we go. Now that's tightened up. not using the wrench, just as tight as I can get it with my hands. I don't know if that's the best way of doing it. That's just the way that I'm doing it, because as you can see, we are matched up back with how tight it was originally. So hopefully that means we're not going to have a leak when I turn the water back on. So that's what we're going to do next. Turn the water back on. So I just turned on that ball valve, which leads down to the well, and we are already filling up. So that's a good sign. We're going to get down there, turn the well back on, and hopefully we're going to pump some water through this guy. Moment of truth. Let's see how we did. Hey, look at that. We have water. As you guys can hopefully see behind me, we were 100% successful at replacing that water filter. No leaks besides the one that was already there, and no problems besides the one that was already there. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, share the video with someone you think also might enjoy it or needs to see it, and comment down below if you have any comments or questions. I'm going to get out of your guys' hair because I have some potatoes to go and gather because it's dinner time and I'm pretty damn hungry. With that, thank you for watching, think for yourself, shoot straight, and I will see you next time.